to hit record here, and I think we're recording. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with me. This is the new normal here with these virtual things, right?
Of course, I know. It's an adjustment.
It is
You're
adjustment.
clearly getting used to it.
Exactly. So you have today to deal with it. Well, yeah, this movie, like, the whole time I was like, it's a woman's worst nightmare, right? To be traveling alone. And I mean, was that sort of the intent when you signed on to do this?
Well, I thought, yeah. I mean, I certainly. It felt to me like absolutely a person's worst nightmare, and something that I'm sure every woman has experienced. So when I read the script, I immediately thought of my wife and my daughters, and thought about, yeah, this is something that, anyone who experiences this kind of potential male hostility and aggression, and what I loved about the script was how in the first kind of third of the movie, it really plays upon the psychology of trying to determine, is this a threat? Is this not a threat? Am I overreacting?
Right.
And what I appreciated about Matthias Olsson's script was that she also is not making kind of dumb decisions, like walking into something like we've seen in so many kind of horror movies, like don't go through that door. You're not really saying that to Jessica. She's already, her radar's up, and she's nervous about this situation. She's trying to do everything she can, and yet the confrontation seems inevitable no matter how hard she tries. And that, to me, made it more terrifying. So I thought it was a really fascinating kind of way to explore a suspense thriller. And so, yeah, that definitely attracted me to it.
Well, all kind of movies, like with the car, like Duel is one of my favorite movies.
Sure.
It's you against some horrible thing chasing you, kind of thing, and it's just, yeah. But this one, yeah, I was I've definitely had fears like that. I mean, you're driving, the car pulls up next to you, and you're like, it's just, it can be really scary. Tell me about what some of the challenges were to filming this, being out in the woods and whatnot.
Well, yeah, I mean, the challenges are kind of like, you can almost see them right there. Number one, it is, and that's what attracted me too. It is quite, it's a real operation to shoot in rugged terrain like that, because you have to get equipment out there, and you have to,
right,
and you are trying to control elements that are very hard to control, and you're trying to get, put actors in place where they can be safe, but also you're staging dangerous things. But I love the idea that the environment is really a character in the movie. That's why we have these chapter titles about, the road, the river, the
right.
Rain, the clearing.
I love that.
Yeah, because I think it's really every chapter of the movie involves another kind of physical, environmental challenge and struggle and hazard, and also that the story is of a woman who is going through something internally. She's processing grief, and so, I think it was really, very just skillful and clever the way Matthias's script kind of took the subtext and the internal story that's going on with this woman, and played that against what's happening externally, and how those things kind of mirror each other, and her internal struggle and how she has to deal with it in many ways is kind of played out through the external environmental struggle. And to your point, I mean, there's some obvious influences, when for the beginning of the script, for sure, you think of Duel, which I love. And then Deliverance is another one.
Yes.
I think it's, what we all love about Duel, and is what I loved of this script, is that it's really stripping suspense down to its very essence.
Yeah.
And without exposition, without kind of without even dialogue at times. You're able to kind of play on the behavior of your characters and how they're reacting to a situation. In recent memory, I thought that the Kurt Russell movie Breakdown, that was a thriller.
That was so good and so unexpected. Like,
Yeah.
it's like this little underrated right?
It's a great movie, and again, I was thinking of those movies when we went into this, not stylistically, but just how they made you feel and what we were going to embark on, and how you making, really just kind of making a big meal out of small moments of terror and paranoia.
Right. Well, I'm sure we're running a little short on time, but I just wanted to talk about Jules and Mark and sort of, the atmosphere that they had to create to make this together.
Well, I mean, again, one of the big attractions of this is that it's really a two-hander, and so it lives and dies by these casting choices. And I really feel like we struck gold with both of them. Jules, I'd worked with once doing just an episode of television, because I've directed episodic TV, and Jules, I hadn't even cast her. She had been a recurring role on this particular cop show we were doing, and it was a big that one day experience. Again, you have all these brilliant theater trained actors who are out there, and they're doing parts on shows like Law and Order and things like that are paying the bills. And sometimes, again, in this particular case of doing a TV kind of cop procedural drama, I experienced this actor who I just thought she was not only a brilliantly skilled actor, but what we kind of went through on that day and what was being asked of her to do in this schedule really showed me what she was made of. Mm-hmm. And when we looked at this script, I thought, I really know the perfect person for this. I don't know her well. I just spent one day with her.
Right.
She could do this, and she did, and then some, as far as I'm concerned. And then finding her sparring partner in this, in Mark, in many ways, I think a movie like this, it's almost like a romantic comedy, in the sense that you have to, your hero and villain have to have a kind of chemistry that is going to sustain the movie. Not only on camera, but off camera, there needed to be tremendous trust, because they're going through some rough stuff together. It's very physical, and we're in elements, and they're going to some very dark places together. And Mark is just one of the most, I know he plays a scary guy in this movie, but he's pretty much the most fun guy you've ever met in your life.
Good. Because it was like this in The Outsider, right? He was awful in The Outsider as well.
He can play a bad guy real well, but one day he'll play a good guy, and people fall in love with him, because he just has tremendous charisma and presence, and he's not afraid of anything as a performer. He's not afraid to make himself the scariest guy in the world. And in doing that, I felt like the two of them, Jules and Mark, just kind of did this dance together throughout the whole movie, that when you get to the climax, you've really kind of earned this moment between the two of them. So it really takes two to pull something like this off. And we just got very lucky with them, because if one of them wasn't as strong as the other, or as strong as they were, the whole movie really falls apart. So the whole thing is really gambling on two actors. And that's what I was interested in. I'd done stuff in the past, more action and choreography based stuff, but I really wanted something that just relied on central performances. And very proud of what they did.
Yes, well, you should be. It was a very intense movie. I really enjoyed it very much. So thank you for speaking with me, John, and hopefully, you'll have a better, a good day with all the computer stuff, but I appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. All right.
All right.
Cheers. Have a
Take
great
care.
one.
Bye-bye.